What's up, guys? Welcome back to Security Guard Command. So this topic that I want to bring up today is something that I have been racking my brain on for the last 2 months. And I just don't know the answer to this. So I'm going to post this up there and I want to start a discussion and I want to see if we can figure out the answer to this question, because it seems to be a little bit of a catch-22. So here's the scenario. Well, actually, let's start off first with, we all know that you stay on your post, you stay on your property, you see something going on off property, you observe, you report, but you don't engage. Now, let's throw a little twist into that scenario. Let's say that you catch somebody on your property and they end up assaulting you or attacking you and dragging you off property. Well, now you're no longer on your property. Now, I am 100% an advocate for defending yourself, and absolutely defend yourself and stop the threat. But if you are, let's say, outnumbered and you are unable to defend yourself, and you had called for backup, and backup arrives, a fellow guard or what have you, and now the question is, should this guard back you up? And my answer is absolutely 100%. However, does the liability insurance company or the policy that your company holds agree with that? Will they cover acts that occurred off property, with the second guard? Legally, civilly, what have you, are you covered? Are you protected? That's the question here. In the event that this person who dragged the original guard off property gets hurt while you're defending yourself, do they have any grounds to file a lawsuit because you were no longer on property? Now, I have searched the internet and really came up with nothing. I've tried to call about 5 different insurance agents about this, and they cannot definitively answer the question of whether a guard would be covered under liability insurance in the event of an injury, either to themselves or to the subject. And they can't give me a definitive answer. And I try to talk to actual insurance policy writers, I guess they're underwriters are called, and I got through to one of them, but they basically told me they couldn't give me that answer without writing a policy for me, which was odd. I asked for some just generic cookie cutter, type of policy coverage, and I just couldn't get a straight answer out of any of the security companies. So I want to know what you guys think about this, and let's have a debate. Let's discuss this, because it seems to be a little bit of a catch-22. Yes, it's off property, but it originated on property for the first guard. Second guard arrives, sees the other guard struggling. I want to know what you guys think. Morally, in my opinion, absolutely help your fellow guard, back them up, get them out of trouble, 100%. No hesitation, no question. But let's talk about after the fact. Let's talk about the legal obligations or the legal ramifications of what could possibly happen in that situation if you are dragged off property and having to defend yourself, and maybe even use force at that point. Use deadly force. So let's run through some scenarios. Let's do some hypotheticals and figure out the answer to this question. The reason this came up into my mind a few months ago was because while I was working at the hospital, I was stationed at the emergency room lobby, and our outside patrol guard had called for some backup, and I was listening on the radio, and I had heard a couple of units responding. However, about a minute later, I heard him on the radio says, "Hey, you guys gonna get here anytime soon? Because this guy's coming towards me with a stick." And I didn't hear any response back this time on the radio. And normally, the guard working that post in the emergency room lobby stays in the emergency room. And mostly stays in the lobby, responds to various incidents inside the emergency room, but doesn't go much beyond that in the hospital. And it's all based on availability. And at this time, all I knew was that a guard was calling for backup, and I didn't hear a response on the radio for the second call. So I immediately went outside and started running to the location that the guard had called for help. And it was on the other side of the hospital. And when I got there, I saw 3 guards standing there talking amongst themselves, and across the street was a guy with a stick, and he was walking away. And so I said, "Oh, I didn't know you guys were here. I heard him call for help and nobody responded, so I thought I'd run out here." And I was prepared to back this guy up, because he's a coworker and he's a friend. It's like, I'm gonna do what I have to do to make sure that my coworkers are safe. And so that's what made me think about this question. What if this guy pulled my coworker off property and was, attacking him off property? What type of protections am I afforded legally under insurance, what have you, or what are my risks legally in this situation? Because I'd like to know what my risks are if I engage in a person off property that has one of my coworkers. What if a nurse was walking to their car and they're being attacked by somebody and they're off property? I want to know what my legal risks are. Am I gonna not go and assist this person? No, I'm gonna assist this person because they're it's the right thing to do, and they are, they're employees of the same place I work for. So that's my opinion. It's not a reflection of my employer in any way. And if I lose my job, which is a very real possibility, then I lose my job, but I did the right thing, and I'll just have to find a new job. But that's a question I have, guys, and I'd really love to just have a discussion on this in the comments. Let's figure this out and brainstorm, and I think between all of us, I think we can really figure out a good answer to this question. Anyway, guys, hope you stay safe. Catch you later.